Hi, Dave Snyder here. It's the first day of June 2015, and here I am with the Eye of Horus again. I just want people to understand the importance of this picture and what it absolutely proves to us about our moon and our Earth and our history and what the ancients knew and what they seen. It just absolutely shows so much. If you can just understand what it shows, it's not that difficult. Okay, now check it out. This is the Eye of Horus, and we see from coming from the corner of the eye right here, we see the cobra. This is a king cobra. As we can see, it has the double Egyptian crown, meaning it rules all of Egypt, basically, is what that crown supposedly means, the double crown. Okay, so this is a king cobra coming out of the corner of the eye, right? This is a picture, and then we have the falcon over here, or whatever this is, that, you know, the hawk or whatever, falcon, they say the falcon-headed man. Okay, I have shown, I'm going to show you right now the Eye of Horus in the weather, right now. And the thing is with this picture, you got to understand, you have to understand it. There's no way from any spot on the planet Earth where you would be able to look up and see this picture in the weather. You know, I might be, hold on a second, let me get it up here. Oh, there it is. Horus, the Eye of Horus. This one, right here. Okay, you see the eye. This is the Eye of Horus. This pattern, this weather pattern, showing you the Eye of Horus. You see from the corner of the eye, from the exact same place. You see it coming out of this eye here. You see it coming out in the same place. It curls down. This is the weather now showing us this. Coming up, and this is the cobra at the top. You see the cobra shape at the top. It fans out like a cobra does, right? It's not showing you you don't see the crown, but you can kind of see the shape. It would come up like this, like a narrow area there. But anyways, this is showing that in the weather. Absolutely showing the Eye of Horus in the weather. You see how this curls back like this does here, and it curls around at the end? Well, that would basically be this spot here. Okay, and you got to remember, this is an ancient symbol. Now maybe it's possible that they're just putting that in our sky to, like, you know, to make us brainwash us or whatever. You know, the power of symbolism. I don't know. I don't really know it, but obviously they've been using symbols for a long time on people, and maybe it works. I don't know. But I noticed it when it was there. Somebody else pointed it out that it was like the Eye of Horus, and when they did that, I brought up the Eye of Horus, and sure enough. But there's no place that you could stand on Earth and see this in the sky. There's no way. It's too vast of an area. You cannot see that far, and you would not see this shape. So where did they get it from? This picture here that I'm showing behind here. I had to flip this picture over, I think. Pretty sure I had to reverse this image to get the cobra on the right side. Normally they show the cobra on the other side, and the bird would be on this side. Okay, so that's just showing me that that it had to be a mirror image. They had to see it in space. This eye had to be somewhere in space backwards for them to draw it backwards from how it shows on Earth. And I guarantee you this is the same thing, because I just made a video just, I don't know, a week and a half ago of the Atlanta Falcon in the weather, and then I had to flip it over too. Just the same thing I had to do. And you can look at that, watch that video. It's a couple videos back on my channel where it's a perfect picture in the same place you see Horus. This is up here in the Pacific, right here. You see there's Alaska, there's the west coast of North America. Up here you got Siberia, right? Okay, so it's in the Pacific Ocean right here, and in the exact same spot, practically just a little bit over here where you see the cobra. It wasn't over here now. It wasn't on this side where they showed the falcon in that picture, but it clearly showed in the same part of the world on the Earth the falcon in the same. And so Horus is the falcon-headed man. So I hear in all the stories and things. So for them to be in the same place, and I had to reverse both pictures to make them fit the weather. But both of them are absolutely what you're seeing in the weather. It's not coincidence. It's absolutely what you're seeing in the weather. This is the Eye of Horus. That print came from somewhere. This is coming from somewhere in space. Some object in space has this picture just like this, but backwards on its surface, right? I've been showing the moon flipped over the Earth for, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, going on 5 years, and it's the only object close to the Earth that could possibly be seen with the naked eye in ancient times, where you would be able to see shapes that were like a falcon or like an eye on the surface of the moon. But the only thing is this is on the back side of the moon. This pattern comes from the back side of the moon, not the side we see today. It absolutely comes from the back side, and this is it right here. This is what Google Moon gives you. This is the Mare Moscovians crater. This is garbage. It's total garbage. Here is the actual pattern of that crater, and it is absolutely the Eye of Horus. And if you go to Google Earth and do use this image that I just showed you like this, you will see that there is this curve that right here. You can barely see it on Google Moon, but there is this curve, and then up here they blank it all out. It's all lines, and they're hiding the cobra part of it. But it is absolutely, the curve comes down and it is there. This is just a, Google Moon cannot be trusted as the moon, basically, in most cases. You cannot use it. But this is Mare Moscovians. It is clearly the Eye of Horus. It is on the back side of the moon. We do not see this area of the moon today. But it proves that in ancient times, when this symbol was first brought out, that they seen the back side of the moon. It faced the Earth. And I don't know how many other sides. The lunar South Pole shows its pattern all over the Earth in our weather. Mare Imbrium and Copernicus show their print in our weather all the time. Mare Oriental shows its pattern over the Earth in our weather all the time. And in the Pacific, in this location where I'm showing you now, Mare Moscovians also shows its print in our weather all the time as the Eye of Horus, and the cobra and the falcon. That to me is enough. Either that, or even if they're making it up by putting these symbols in our weather, it's still important to show you this, because it shows that they're fucking with us, or it shows that it's true. One of the two, take your pick. It doesn't make any difference. It's still important either way. The way I see it, it's important either way. You don't have to believe that the moon hit the Earth and is shaping every weather pattern on the planet, even though that's what it shows every day. You don't have to believe that. But if it's not the case, then we have to believe that they're fucking with us then, or something, because that's the case. It's both. It's one or the other, because the patterns absolutely do show in our weather patterns. Every weather pattern on this planet is from the lunar surface, showing that all different sides of the moon at some point in time faced the Earth and hit the Earth, more than likely. Right? The final act of the Sailor Moon live action series, the very last episode, they call it the final act. What does Sailor Moon do to the planet Earth? She destroys the entire planet, turns it into a desert, completely just blows everything off the planet. It's the true story of the Earth. The Earth and the moon cannot be together, even though they want to be. It's basically a love story between the Earth and the moon, but it's like a forbidden attraction. They're attracted to each other. They want to be together, but they can't be together because it'll destroy one. It doesn't just destroy one or the other. It destroys them both. But they are absolutely reborn eventually. It doesn't destroy the planet. It just destroys humanity and life on it. But it comes back. The dinosaurs died, but life still came back to the Earth after the last time. I mean, you think about it. It's the Eye of Horus basically proves it. That print right there is absolutely. You can see the inner line. You can see so much in this picture. And then check out this part of the eye over the other picture. It's the Eye of Horus, people. There's the cobra comes right out of the corner. Right there. The king cobra. The king thing is important too. They, like the lunar South Pole print that I show, constantly over in our weather. It shows so often in the weather. It used to. It doesn't show so well anymore because they caught on to this. I've been doing these videos for a while, and I know that they know I'm doing this because they've changed the weather several times to hide this and make it more difficult. I'm telling you, I'm not imagining that. That is not my imagination telling me that. It's absolutely true. And, it's just the way it is. The king thing has everything to do with it. And the lunar south pole pattern, that's a pattern that is pretty convincing. You see that in our weather, and when you align the two together, that is where every typhoon is from that crater, the Schrodinger crater. Every one of them. Every typhoon that hits Japan or the Philippines is the Schrodinger pattern. Schrodinger print reversed over the Earth, so showing that it's a print on the Earth, because that lunar south pole does not face the Earth anymore. But it used to. It's left its print on the Earth, and it's all over. It shows itself in our weather constantly. So if that's not, but if it didn't hit the Earth and it didn't leave its print in the weather, then what the hell is it? It's something. Definitely something. Needs to be answered. I know what it is. I know it's the lunar south pole print. It all fits together with everything. Religion tries to explain it in their own little confusing way, and science tries to turn it into something else. But you just got to understand that they're not going to give you the truth. They're not going to give you the truth. Religion will not give you the truth. Science will not give you the truth. First, you have to understand what the truth is before those can be truthful. Before you get any truth out of that, you have to understand what the actual truth is first. Then you can turn that into your own truth. Otherwise, it's not true until you know what they're talking about. And this is what they're talking about. All religions. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. As above, so below. All of it. Just so much. The Trinity, the second coming of Christ. It's not the second coming. There's been more than one in the past. Every side of the moon, people, every side of the moon leaves its print on the Earth. Ones that you don't even think of on the moon, I've overlaid and had fit perfect, and you wouldn't even think of it. Nobody even knows the name of it practically. I don't even think anybody would know the name if I said it, unless they were real lunatics that absolutely know all the names. I don't know all the names. I can't even think of the name that it is right now, right off the top of my head. I'd have to go look at it. But no one else would know it either. Most people. It has a name, so somebody has to know. But still, it's on the backside of the moon, and it's barely visible. But it leaves its print on the Earth, right in the middle of the United States, along with every other big crater that leaves its print, right in the middle of the United States, right in the middle of Asia, right in the middle of everything, South America, you name it. I'm just getting kind of burned out on trying to stress the importance of this. It's not really that important that you know, really, I guess. It's just that people seem to be looking for the truth, and I'm just trying to put it out there. And maybe it's not the truth, maybe not. But there's more evidence showing that it is than anything else on this Earth. It shows more evidence and proof. It's right. It's in our weather every single day, showing you the proof. Right here is the Eye of Horus. I don't know if this is some ancient symbol. Maybe the pyramids aren't old. I have no idea. But if they are, then this is from the time when the backside of the moon used to face the Earth, and it shows this cobra, and they are hiding that part on the moon, on Google Moon. They hide this part. They put lines all through it so you can't see the shape of it. But they hide this too by giving you this shitty picture, the one I showed you earlier. They hide that too. But if you're persistent and you look and you're determined and you'll find better pictures, and you'll get the truth eventually. You just got to worm through it and use a little bit of your imagination to see what they would leave out and what they give you, and then use history to put the rest together and put common sense in, a little bit of common sense in there, and some geology. Look at the geology of both the Earth and the moon, and you just, like I said, if the moon fits, wear it. and it fits every time. I'm sorry to sound so frustrated, but it does kind of frustrate me, because I see everything seems to be working against me. You know, it seems like religion, science, all of it seems to be working against me, because I guess they figured out a long time ago that the truth should not be told. Just like I always talk about Sailor Moon. They say that it's better that the future remain undecided and that you don't know your future. They say that. At the same time, they're trying to tell you that the moon destroys the planet, humanity, and all this stuff. And they show on the final act that she actually does it. They use the moon as female. Christians use the moon as the father. God, the Father, and the Son, which is on the moon too. And I don't expect everybody to believe that, because I know how touchy religious people are, and I don't want you to unsubscribe, and I don't want you to do any of that. I'm just trying to say that's what I see. And every time I look deeper into it, it just shows me more of it to be true. The deeper I look, the more true it becomes. So, but then again, like I said, they could be pulling this shit on me too. They do it with everything else, so it's really hard to know what to believe at all. Just, that's why I tell everybody, believe what you want, make up your own story, try not to believe what everybody else believes just because they say it's true. The same goes for me. Don't believe me just because I say it's true. For sure, check it yourself. Make up your own, get your own story out of the life you live in, the world you live in. Don't believe it just because you read it in a book that somebody else wrote a long time ago, and it all sounds logical to you. Just make sure you believe what you think is right, and that's the most important thing I can tell you in the whole thing. Because, like I said, they probably use symbols to do this. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to work for most. It does work, I guess, for most people. So, anyways, have a great day. I probably won't do a video for a little while until I, get over this, get this frustration dealt with. So, everybody, have a good day, and check it out. Make your own thing. See you.